to another episode of Allan AF. You know what it stands for, my raw, authentic self. I was thinking about the other day, man, that I could not keep a job. I could not keep a job, dude. I wasn't good at nothing when I was little. Younger, rather. Working. I was a horrible employee. I was a horrible employee. I remember I was a security guard for a doctor's office. So I had to show up earlier than everyone else and go in and check out the place. You know, I had the alarm code. I had to go in, check out the place or whatever. Now this is my first time at this particular office. It's an old office. So I opened up the back door, turned the alarm off, and they had this long ramp. I guess it was for wheelchairs. They had this long ramp, and it went into but the employees was, it led to the parking lot. It's a long ramp that went inside the doctor's office. So I stepped on it, and I heard, when I stepped on it, I can hear, it was pitch black, and way down the hall, I can hear noise. So the footsteps I was making was loud as hell down there. So, I ran out. I ran out of the doctor's office, and I called on the radio. I was like, hey, man, it sounds like somebody's in this doctor's office. And, they were like, well, go inside. They told me to go inside the doctor's office because it sounded like somebody was in there. They wanted me to investigate. I wasn't a cop. I was a security guard. I was making like $6 an hour. I didn't have no weapon on me. I had a radio. They wanted me to go inside of this doctor's office with a radio. And the lights were way inside the doctor's office, so I had to go down this 20-foot black hallway by myself to turn the lights on and then investigate what was down there. So I turned my radio off. And I went to my car and I sat in my car. I didn't go down. I didn't go in there at all. I did not go in the office at all. I sat in my car and I waited for the employees to go in. So I was there for about 20 minutes, and then some of the employees came in. I think the janitor, the custodian was first. He was a man, so I let him go investigate. He was making more money than I was anyway. So he went in there and investigated, and nobody was in there. But the fact that they even thought that I would go in there and investigate if it was a potential robbery, they thought that I cared that much about that job that I would investigate. I'm not investigating nothing. I don't investigate. I was a security guard. I do not investigate anything. Yeah, so I got fired from that job because that's when I first started doing stand-up. And I was in Detroit. First started doing stand-up. And the supervisor, they was going around looking, they would check on their employees. So the supervisor came up and he caught me in my car asleep. I was a damn security guard, man. You know how boring that job is? So I was in my car knocked out. I was doing comedy at night, and I was a security guard in the daytime. And I had to be at the office at like 6 in. I was knocked out in my car in the parking lot, dude. Because I never went into the establishment by myself because I was scared, So I stayed outside because in Detroit they kill security guards. Security guards get killed trying to be heroes. I remember the security guards working at Rite Aid, Detroit, Michigan. On 8 Mile and Ryan Road, he was working at Rite Aid, and somebody stole out the store in Rite Aid, and he chased them out of the store. He chased them across 8 Mile, which now he was in a different city, and the dude who stole from Rite Aid beat his ass, and then he crawled back to Rite Aid after he got his ass whooped. The security guard came back to Rite Aid, and they fired him because he left his post. He got fired after getting his ass whooped because he left his post. He was being a good employee. He stopped somebody from stealing more product, and he chased them across 8 Mile, and they beat his ass. One person whooped his ass, and he got fired. That's a horrible day for him. He lost his job and got his ass whooped. And when he tried to sue the company, they said, you left your post. Security guards ain't supposed to leave their post. And he got fired, dude. After he got his ass whooped. Damn. So anyway, that was one of my horrible jobs. I was a security guard, and I got fired from that. I was working in a factory in Detroit, and I was horrible on them. I kept messing up all the parts. I was putting them in wrong, hitting the button, the machine the press come down and press them, tearing up the stuff. So the guy was like, man, we're going to make you the custodian. You get paid the same, but we're going to make you the custodian. So I was like, all right, cool. Because they liked me. They didn't want to fire me. So I was like, okay, cool. So they knew I was doing comedy. They came to a couple of shows, so they was trying to support me. I was like, cool, finally. So I'm sweeping up the factory or whatever. And then I remember I was playing basketball in the neighborhood. In my mother's neighborhood, I was playing basketball one time, and I hurt my ankle real bad. So what I did was I went to work and I acted like I hurt my ankle at work. Now, one of the dudes I was playing basketball with, his bitch ass was a supervisor at the job. So he went to the job and he told them I hurt my ankle at home playing basketball. They didn't believe him though, because they liked me. They didn't believe his punk ass. So they caught me asleep a few times at work. They caught me knocked out asleep. And they never fired me for that. But when he fell asleep, they fired him. Snitching ass. He was snitching and they fired him. Anyway, he told that I hurt my ankle at work. That's not why they fired me. They fired me because I was off on workman's comp and disability, right? I was off on disability, and my dumb ass showed up to the company picnic. And I showed up. I'm supposed to be, I'm off on disability. They paying me for workman's comp, and my sore ankle, my ankle messed up. So I'm supposed to be at home resting. I show up at the company picnic. I'm playing softball. I'm playing volleyball. I'm playing basketball, eating a hot dog, and they looking at me like, dude, you supposed to be on disability. What the hell? My dumb ass showed up and was playing sports. Because, I love playing sports, man. And, I like the people I used to work with. They was cool. And they going to tell me that, so I went to work. After the weekend I went to work, they gonna have me clean up something, and then they gonna fire me for that. So I got fired doing that too. I was an exterminator too one time, and I was an exterminator, but I hated bugs. I was scared of bugs, and because bugs are disgusting. You know what I'm saying? Like, bugs are disgusting, dude. I don't mess with no bugs. I don't mess with no bugs whatsoever, man. They sick. You ever seen you ever seen praying mantis? Oh my God, that thing is hideous. And the face of like an ant. You ever seen a face of an ant? Oh, dude, not the cute cartoon ants. I'm talking about the real ant that's in your backyard. They have a face. They have eyes. They have a mouth. Are they ugly as hell? A fly? With the big ass eyes that go all the way to the middle of his forehead. That they ugly as hell, dude. He got an eye like this. Starts right here and go way up here. That's a fly's eye. Like my whole hand right here. They hideous. Well, anyway, I was an exterminator. And my first day at the job, my first day in the field, not my first day at the job. Because the first 2 weeks we was in the office studying. That was the fun part. We was taking tests, studying and shit. That was cool. But then we had to go in the field. And so we went in the field. And they just bombed this lady's apartment. I was in LA now. They bombed this lady's apartment. And bomb is basically when they go into your apartment, let off this bomb dust or mist or whatever it is, and no humans can be in there, and they clear your whole apartment out, and you can go back like 12 hours later or a day later, something like that. So anyway, they bombed this lady's apartment, and then the day later we went in there, and it was dead roaches everywhere. And when you walk into the place, you can hear them crunching on the bottom of your shoe. You can hear the crunch. A crunch. It was a bunch of roaches. And when you walk and you crunch, every time you put your foot, crunch, 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 it was everywhere. And so I was looking all up, and it was dead roaches. They was hanging from the ceiling. They had their one arm still hanging from the ceiling, half dead, and they just dropped. And one of them fell on my neck, and I was like, oh, my God. You know what I'm saying? And I'm rolling. Oh, man, it was disgusting. Oh, just thinking about that shit right there was disgusting. And, okay, I ain't gonna lie. It went down the back of my shirt. I was an orchid man. Well, the white and red button-up shirts, and it went down the back of the collar right here, dude, and it was all on my back. It was a dead roach, half dead roach, and the back of my shirt. The back of my shirt, it was a half dead roach inside of it. I had to take my clothes off. Dude, oh, it was nasty. I ran outside and I took my shirt off, man, and the roach fell, and the people was laughing. And this was about 8 or 9 o'clock in the morning. I just started work. I had to work the rest of the day with dead roach juice on my back. You know what I'm saying? You ever touch something and when you touch it, and it's nasty, like, ugh, and your fingers start feeling weird because you need to wash your hand because your mind is playing tricks on you. You see that? How I touched my head with my other finger because I'm thinking something was on that finger. So that's how your brain is. So to know that I had roach residue on my back drove me crazy all day, dude. I couldn't take a shower until I got home. Dude, that was nasty as hell. Ugh, that was disgusting. I got fired from that job because somebody called in, right? And they was like, listen, we got a dead rat under our porch. First of all, I wasn't going under nobody's porch. I don't care. I'm not going under your porch. But they said they got a dead rat under the porch. There's 2 negatives. A dead rat. I'm not messing with nobody's dead rats. I don't do that. So what I did was I had garbage can in my truck. A garbage bag in my truck and some rat traps. So I ran to my truck, got the bag, put the rat trap inside the bag, went back into the house, and I act like I came from under the porch, and I was like, I got it, and I'm so glad nobody said, let me see. And I ran to the truck, and I drove off and left. And I never went under their porch and got their dead rat, so they had to call other people out there. That I didn't get fired from that one incident. I got fired because that kept happening. Every time somebody would call me to do treatment at their house, kill a rat, take a rat away, I would act like I did it. And then the smell is still there. So a day or 2 later, other people had to clean up my work because I wasn't really doing it. I went to this one lady house, man, and she had a nice house by the beach, Redondo Beach, nice house. And because she had dog food, so she had rats in her kitchen. And she had the 3 drawers, the silverware drawer, the whatever drawer, and whatever drawer, the towels and oven mitts or whatever you want to put in your drawer. So it was a live big ass rat behind there. So I took the first drawer out with the silverware, and you saw the rat run down. And I was like, oh my God. It was me and her. So we took the bottom drawer out, and the rat ran in the middle, and he put his body sideways because he was so long. He had to put his body sideways. So I put glue boards on the floor, and then I moved that middle drawer. Man, this rat started running around, and then he fell, and his hair got caught up in the glue board, and you could hear him squealing, screaming, or whatever the hell he was doing. It was a rat noise he was doing, you know. And he had a red noise, but it was loud, and it was squeaky too because he knew he was about to die. So the lady was like, we caught the son bitch, and the lady was like, you can't leave him like that. You're gonna have to kill him. And I was like, do you want to kill him? And she was like, she laughed, but she was like, no, that's your job. And I was like, this your house. I was joking at that point, but I wasn't really joking. That's exactly what I said. And she laughed some more. So I was like, all right, I'll kill him. So she gave me a shovel. And I folded the glue board over on the red so I wouldn't see him. And I tried to smash him with the shovel. And you can hear this dude, whatever the noises he was making, you could hear him getting louder. And it was like getting... So I was like, oh my God. I just said, give me a hammer. She gave me a hammer, man, and I beat him with the hammer. I killed him with the glue board over him because I didn't want to see it. And I took it out. And I had to sit in my truck for a while. And I was like, man, that's not my life. I'm supposed to be on stage. I'm up here killing rats and shit with hammers. This is not my life. So they got tired of me doing stuff like that, man. So they fired me for that. I got fired for that. I was working at this rental car company, and I was working at this rental car company at the Mercedes dealership, and they were, it was like $8 an hour, something dumb. They was paying us like we were crackheads. They was paying crackhead, amounts. $8 an hour. So, it was time for us to have a raise or whatever. So we had to have an interview for a raise. I said, how much is the raise? It was like, it was a quarter. I'm like, I gotta talk to you to beg for a quarter? Seriously? So I was in the interview, man, and I had no enthusiasm. And the dude was like, why should I give you a raise? And I was like, man, I show up every day. And I didn't care for the raise. He didn't even give it to me. I didn't care because I decided at that moment that I was going to start stealing. And I did. I started stealing because they didn't have a cash register. They had a drawer, and they would put money in the drawer. Like when you go rent a car, they're like, you want the insurance? I'd be like, it's only $20. I'd be like, yeah, let me get the insurance. So they give them the $20. They put it in the drawer. And then they deal with the customer. So, I knew when they was running to the bank to deposit the money from the drawer. They didn't even know how much was in the drawer. They just take the 20, put it in the drawer. Just kept doing that because the line was long. They just kept bam, which bam, bam. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you take your car to Mercedes, you go get your rental car. So they take your 20, put it in the drawer. Take your 20, put it in the drawer. So I was just sitting in the back like, yep, there goes some. Okay, cool. Hell yeah. Yep. Get the insurance. Make sure you get the insurance. I was telling everybody, hey, you might want to get that insurance, man. You might want to get that insurance. Man, I was stealing so much damn money out that drawer. I would leave them a little bit because, let's say about if on one given day, let's say 7 or 8 people get the insurance. They paid the $20 cash. 7 or 8 people paid the cash. At the end of the day, they thought 3 people paid it. I stole the rest of the money. So I was stealing money every day. It got to the point I was stealing so much, I didn't even know when we got paid. I didn't even know, when I got my real check because I was just stealing. And the stealing got so addicting. It was addictive. It was just, to steal, it's exciting. You know what I'm saying? It was exciting, man. So I came in one day and they was I came in early one day and they were putting cameras up above my head. They was putting cameras up and it was cameras that was facing this way towards the customer by that drawer. So I guess they was, they was thinking that I was stealing and they were right. So when I saw those cameras, man, I went to the parking lot and I faked the ankle injury again. and I went on workman's comp. And yep, because I couldn't go back to that job because I know I could not stop stealing. So I did my last big heist on workman's comp, and that was it. You know, I never went back to that job again. Um, so yeah, that was that one. And what else? I had another job. Let me see. That was I almost said the name of the company. That was the rental car place. I talked about the exterminator. I talked about security guard. It was something else I used to do, man. I was just horrible at everything. Every job I did. I worked at a restaurant, man. I was cleaning dishes at a restaurant. I was about 19, 20 years old. Cleaning dishes. I worked a day and a half. Man, cleaning these dishes. And I was like, man, I'm out of here, dude. I'm out of here. You know, I was a telemarketer. You know, the people who call you when you eating dinner, try to get you to buy something stupid. I had horrible jobs. I did not have one job that was respectable. Not one. Not one job that I had. I was a loan officer during the crash, '08. I was a loan officer, but it was for a shady company. So I wasn't really a loan officer. It was a quick little quiz. They was like, hey man, when they do this, say this and just do this and pass me the phone, whatever. And they called my title a loan officer. I wasn't really a loan officer. I was a bullshitter. They was paying me good money though to be a bullshitter. I was making a lot of money, man, to be a bullshitter. I got fired because the company closed because they were shady. Oh, and I worked in this. I forgot about this. I worked for this production company who was also shady. I didn't know they were shady. I worked for a production company where you would call people and get people to invest in movies. So we was calling people to get them to invest in a movie that never happened, and the FBI raided them. They fired me because I threatened this old white man. I was about to beat his ass. Oh man, I was about to beat this old white man's ass. That's why they fired me. Because what happened is he was the top earner at the company, right? And he used to try to instill fear in the new people. So he'd come out and he'd randomly pick somebody and he'd yell at them like crazy. So we had Music Fridays where you could come out, you know, everybody can pick the music. They was a DJ that day, you know what I'm saying? And you turn the music on or whatever, it was a DJ. So, excuse me, I had just shot a movie. I directed and wrote this movie called The Soul Agency. It's actually on YouTube. If you go to my YouTube page and you look up The Soul Agency, it's the movie I wrote and directed. So I had a trailer for the movie on a DVD. So I popped in the DVD, and the whole company was watching my trailer, you know. And when it got to the part where the music kicked in, it was kind of loud. So he walked out the office. Who turned on that DVD? I said, I did. He yelled at me. He raised his voice at me. He yelled at me, you know, then he ran back in the office. Now you could tell he didn't want to yell at me. You could tell. He did not want to do it. But I am from Detroit. Okay? And do not think that your job title won't get your ass whooped. I'm a man. You don't yell at me. I don't give a damn what we doing. You do not yell at me. You know? You don't. You just don't yell at me. Especially in a disrespectful manner. Especially an old white man. An old white man yelling at me? Come on, hell no. No, you ain't. Nope. Because you know what? I've been watching Roots my whole life. And I've been wanting to put my hands on them white people that was in Roots. You ever seen them pictures with a black dude hanging from a tree? And you see those pictures with white people showing up in suits and they got on the newsboy hats and they smiling while the dude hung up in the tree and there was little kids around and they smiling and black dude dead behind them. I used to always look at them pictures, man, and wish I could meet one of them little bastard ass kids. Because they was older than me, of course. because this is in like the 50s and the 60s. Those pictures was taken, so they was older than me, of course. So they have an old white man yell at me. Oh, please. Oh, dude, I was looking for that though. That old white man, and this old bitch ass dude behind me. He told, because he heard me talking to another employee. I was like, I'm fucking him up. Fucking him up, dude, because he gave me all rights to fuck him up. You yelled at me? Oh, fucking you up. So the bitch ass dude told, and so the white man didn't come to work for a couple of days, and then they fired me behind that because of that, you know. So I got fired because of that. It was a shady company anyway. 2 weeks later, that's when the FBI raided them. And let me see what else. Because I had a whole bunch of terrible jobs, man. A whole bunch of terrible. I just started. I got fired so much, man. I started working for a temp service after that. And they, you get fired as a temp, and then it's fine because the temp service just put you on another job. I got fired once over sexual harassment. Yeah, sexual harassment, dude. It was a. Let me tell you something, dude. Look, I know that sounds horrible. Sexual harassment. I got fired because of sexual harassment. This is what happened. This girl, she was a temp as well. She was flirting with me. We was flirting with each other, flirting with me, whatever. And I was warming something up for lunch. And she was like, damn, that smelled good. And I was like, stop smelling my food. She was like, come on, what's wrong? Let me smell it. That's what she said, right? So I laughed, ha. The next day, she was warming something up, and I said the same thing to her. Let me smell it. She ran and she called the temp service and told them I said, let me smell it. And she said it was sexual harassment. Bitch, you just said the same thing to me the day before. And now you got buyer's remorse? She said the exact same thing to me the day before. The day before. I said it to her the next day, but she tells on me. Yeah. So they fired me for sexual harassment. But then one company, Bank of America, they called and they requested me. And the lady called me, and it was a lady, it was a female. And because somebody found out that they fired me for sexual harassment, a lot of women from companies I used to work, they called in and was like, no, Allan, listen, he may show up late, but he ain't gonna sexual harass no one, which is true. Women stood up for me, and I appreciate that, Yeah. I couldn't believe she said that. You don't lie on me like that, dude. I was mad as hell. So I got fired from that too. Shortly after that, I got fired from that job too. No, I didn't. I didn't get fired from that temp service. At temp service, you just stop going. You just stop answering the phone when it comes to temp services. So I stopped answering the phone. So it was one job that I quit. But I used to get fired like crazy though, man. I used to get fired so much I knew when it was coming. I knew when the firing was coming. I just used to be like, yep, this is it. Let me get my unemployment until that runs out. So comedy was the only thing I can do well. Comedy is the only thing it's the only job that I love. That, man, the only job that gave me passion was comedy. Everything else was work. And I couldn't. I'm not built. Please don't take this the wrong way. I am not built to work a job that I hate and just live on the weekend. I'm not built for that. I'm not built like that, dude. To have a job that I hate going. Jumping in my car, wasting gas, driving somewhere to a place that I hate. I hate the job. I dislike the employees. I don't like the company. I don't like nothing. They ain't paying me enough. And I'm going up there and I get a half an hour or an hour lunch at a place. I'm eating fast food. I'm getting fat. You know what I'm saying? And then I'm driving home, stuck in traffic to come home at about 6 o'clock at night. And my whole day is just shitty now. And you know what I'm saying? I remember those days, man. It was like 9 or 10 o'clock at night. And I'm thinking to myself like, damn, I got to be working 12 hours. That was a horrible feeling. The anxiety I used to get on Sunday nights But I'm laughing, having a good time with my friends, and I'm like, damn, I gotta work tomorrow. Oh, dude, I hated that shit. And I've watched family members have jobs they went to and they hated, and then they retired, and then they died. I've watched that, dude. I've seen that. And I didn't want it. I didn't want no part of it. So I was like, man, this can't be my life. This can't be my life. And I found comedy, dude. Well, comedy found me. Comedy found me, man. You know what I'm saying? And I couldn't sell drugs either. I couldn't sell drugs because, even selling drugs was like, first of all, selling drugs is a 24-hour job. Depending on the drugs you're selling. Crackheads, they need to get high. Weed heads, they texting you and paging you all times of night. Hell no, I couldn't sell drugs. And then I didn't know any old, every drug dealer I knew went to jail or got shot. And I ain't want no part of that. Every drug dealer I knew about went to jail or got shot. Even Ronald Reagan. They shot his punk ass. And he was the biggest drug dealer in America. Every drug dealer I know went to jail or got shot. Damn. Even Reagan. Yeah. So I didn't want to do that. And, it's too much at risk to do that. So comedy saved me, man. Comedy saved me. And it made me, I'm excited to go to work. I'm happy to go to work. I love what I do. I love, even when I have a bad night at comedy, it's a good day because I'm doing what I love to do. And I'm learning. If I have a bad night at comedy, all that happened is I learned. You know what I'm saying? Like if a joke didn't work, I just learned how to do that joke a different way or not to do it again. And it's all fun. I am enjoying my life now, man. And every day is Friday. Every day is Friday. When Sunday night hits and I know tomorrow is Monday, I am cool. Because my Monday is a Friday. My Sunday is a Friday. I'm cool every day, dude. No stress, no anxiety. I can't wait to work out these new jokes. I can't wait to hit these stages. I can't wait. Actually, I want to hit more stages. I want to do more jokes. I do. That's why I need y'all to follow me, man. I need y'all to follow me on my Instagram to blow my Instagram up. I need y'all to blow my YouTube up. I need y'all to blow up my podcast. I need all this stuff to go viral so I can do these theaters. You know what I'm saying? I could do these theaters. Because I hate having a boss. But with comedy, y'all my boss. You know what I'm saying? In kind of. You my boss. You pay to come see me. You pay me. You know what I mean? When I'm not doing well, you let me know. When I'm doing well, you let me know. I appreciate that. Especially black women. When I'm not doing well, I remember I had a show and I bombed. Right? I bombed. And what that mean is none of your jokes worked. None of my jokes worked. That night, they wasn't feeling me. So I bombed. And this black lady walked up on me. A few comedians, but I wasn't headlining the show, just a show that I was on. A few comedians went up after me. And this lady, she was going to the bathroom. She saw me in the lobby. She was like, "You still here?" That's what she said to me. Like, you should go home. You need to go home. Lay your head down. That's what she said to me, which was, during that time, wasn't funny. But now that I think about it, it was funny. But I love what I do, man. I love it. Like I said, I can't wait to do it more. I cannot wait to do it more. Look, man, thank you so much for listening to my podcast. Remember, Whatever it is that you love, do that. And if you can find a way to get paid for it, God bless you. Do what you love to do. Seriously. Somebody needed to hear this episode tonight because they need to know, walk away from your job. Don't walk away from your job. It's going to make you homeless. Don't do that.